Alright, so in this video, I will show you how to use TradeEngine using our code editor. So you can really go from the stretch of thinking about an algorithmic trading strategy to backtesting it and finally having it run live on our cloud. So the first thing, of course, that I will assume for this guide is that you already have a TradeEngine account. So if that's not the case, just go to tradeengine.io and just click on this button here. That will allow you to create a free account so you can actually use the application. After that, just click on login, and once you've done that, you will be redirected to the app page, and here you will actually find your account. So I will now go over to strategies here, because this is the first step when you want to deploy an algorithmic trading strategy using TradeEngine. Well, you actually need a strategy that will contain the code for the trading that you will do. So for that, we have two options. We can create a brand new strategy, or we can explore templates. So here, that's what we'll do to actually get quickly started with TradeEngine. So we'll click on that. And here you will find an ever-expanding list of templates that you can just copy right away into your account and really get started quickly with TradeEngine. So here we'll actually use the code editor, as we said, for TradeEngine, and we'll just use this very basic strategy that is called simple moving average crossing. So I will show you in the code a bit later how it actually works, but it's a very basic strategy. So I'll just click on this button and this will copy the strategy into my account. So here I have it. I can see the name of the strategy. It's not running at the moment. And I can go either to backtesting, which is what we'll do in a moment, or go to the live dashboard. So first I need to talk a bit about what we are actually going to trade. So TradeEngine also supports an ever-expanding list of instruments that can have three types. So it can be a stock, currency on the forex markets, and also, of course, cryptocurrencies. So this is what we'll use in this example, but you can of course apply that to any of the instruments that are supported by TradeEngine. So let's go now to instrument to see that. So here I have the instruments listed for cryptocurrencies. So here you can see the symbol, the type, it's crypto here, the 24-hour profit or loss in percentage, the volume over 24 hours, and also the variability of this particular pair. So if I click on any of those, for example, let's click on Bitcoin with USDT, we'll go to the details of this instrument. For example, here, I just have this graph like with a 1 month resolution. So I have all of the latest values of Bitcoin versus USDT. And I also, by default, there is this moving average of 25 intervals, so you can see the general trend of the stock. So let's now go back to strategies, and I will tell you a bit about the strategy we'll use here and how to do backtesting. So let's do strategies, and I will click this button here, backtesting. Okay, so as I just copied this strategy, of course, there is nothing in terms of backtesting, right? Because I haven't ever run this. So let's have a quick look at the code. So the code here is using a subset of JavaScript. So if you are new to JavaScript, you will recognize many things, but it's really all about the algorithm and not the code itself. So here what we copied is a simple, as I said, moving average crossing strategy. So there are two averages that we calculate. So one is like a short one with less period, so that will follow more closely the price of the pair here, which is LTC versus USDT. And the long one would be like more like a long-term average of the stock. So the strategy that we'll use here is quite well known. It basically says that whenever those two cross, right, on the graph, well, it means that it's a signal to either buy or sell, right? So if The difference between the two is now positive, but it was negative before. We sell, and if that's the other way around, we actually buy. So it's quite a basic strategy, but it will be perfect to illustrate backtesting in our example here. So now I will not change anything actually, I will just actually run the backtest. Alright, so after a while the backtest has now been generated, and well, great news, it's actually profitable. So you can see here the results. So we would have made this amount of profits. So note that by default the backtesting starts with 10,000 in the base currency here, USDT. So basically here, over this period starting in June 2019, so nearly 2 years, we would have like nearly doubled our money using this strategy here. So that's all the trading indicators, and we would have made about 100 trades per year using this strategy. All right, so of course, I really invite you now to, when you do that, to adjust those parameters to see, how you can actually make that even better. Of course, change the strategy, but that gave you an overview on how to do backtesting using TradeEngine. And now the last step of this guide using the code editor of TradeEngine is actually to go live. Before we can actually go live, well, we need to connect some live exchange to our TradeEngine account. So here we are using cryptocurrencies. So I will actually connect a Binance account because it's supported by TradeEngine. So for that, I will simply go to integrations. And you can see here I have nothing so far. And now I can actually click on add integration. And I can choose, for example, Binance. And here I will put my token and my secret. All right, so of course, of the recording, I added my all my keys of Binance. So if you don't really know where to find those, you can just Google Binance API key, and this will guide you to the Binance tutorial, the latest one in date, because they sometimes change their user interface. You will find everything to actually get this API key here. So now that we actually have connected an exchange to our TradeEngine account, we have a strategy that we backtested, and let's say we are happy with, it's now actually time to go live. So for that, it's really easy. You can just click here on the live dashboard in the strategy panel, and this will guide you to our live dashboard here. And you just need to basically click on this button, activate strategy, and this will make our strategy run. So I'll just do that, click on activate strategy, and you can see change to deactivate strategy, and now you can go back and see that our strategy is running. So remember, it was doing around 100 trades per year, so it's very unlikely that we will see now live a trade being done, but now it's actually running on the TradeEngine cloud and just running your strategy for you. So I will just stop it before ending this tutorial. All right, so it's now stopped, as you can see here. And basically, this is already the end of this guide about how to use the code editor of TradeEngine to run an algorithmic trading strategy. So I really hope that this was useful for you and showed you how to use TradeEngine. Of course, if you have any comments or questions about what you saw in this guide, don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be really happy to help.